Welcome to my channel. I'm here at Michael's, about ready to go in and get some art supplies for a project that I'm working on, and I figured I would bring you along. So let's head in. It's raining today, so I've got my galoshes, get some art supplies. This is when you know that you are a die-hard artist, when there's a, a big rainstorm coming and you go out and get art supplies. Here we go. They've got a lot of sales here with the canvases and the paint, so we'll see what we can do. So I'm here looking for like a smaller script brush, and I like Princeton brand. I'm not familiar with Velvet Touch. I think that's supposed to be for acrylic. I usually have used Princeton for watercolor. Eventually, I would like to get a really big Filbert to do my backgrounds and just big washes and things, but I'm not going to get this today. I really like these bamboo brushes when I'm working with inks, because it helps to spread on the canvas. And I don't know, I really like how they feel in my hand. And they actually do pretty well holding their shape. That's probably something you'd want to get right there. See how it's holding its shape, and it comes with a cover for your brush. That's what I always look for when I'm looking for these brushes. You know, that they have a cover, because it's nice to have a cover. Sometimes though, with these kind of brushes, it's hard to get the cover back on without ruining your brush. I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to get this script brush. There's a few other brushes that I would like to get in the future, but don't think I'm going to do it on this trip, this go around. This is for the detail work for the project that I'm working on. And but now that we've got our brush, let's go check out the paints. So after much deliberation, I decided that I am going to go with this color here, Azo Yellow Medium. It's pretty close to cadmium yellow, so I was just kind of color matching it with some of the cadmium yellows in the Winsor Newton. I don't usually use black in my color mixing, but it is kind of nice to have black for the side of the canvas, like your edges. Sometimes I'll use black, or I'll mix black with something else to make the darker edges around the canvas, not so much to make the painting, because I try and stay away from using black, because black just tends to dull the color and make it kind of lifeless. And I also went with primary magenta. I do have a magenta color, but this one's like more pink, has a pinker hue to it, and I use magenta a lot. One thing I wanted to show you that I just learned is when you're dealing with the Amsterdam brand of acrylics, they have this chart down here that'll help you to know some things about this paint. Right here is the name of the paint. Down here, if you see, there's a number that'll identify the paint color. And then right here in this box, this will tell you whether or not it's transparent or opaque. Sometimes you want to use transparents for, doing layering over top of, dried acrylic paint. If you see a blank box, that means it's fully transparent. If the box has a line through it like this, diagonal line, it means semi-transparent. So something like this color, you see how the box is half filled in? That means it is semi-opaque. It's going to cover the paint better than this transparent color. It's not going to be like a glaze. You're not going to be able to see through it as well. In a color like this, the box is fully filled in. That means that it is fully opaque. You're not going to be able to see through it if you're trying to glaze, if you're trying to throw it on top to kind of cover over the paint, maybe a mistake or something. This would be better to do it because it is fully opaque. Obviously you want to get the color that you want, but that's what these boxes mean for the Amsterdam brand. You see these plus signs? It'll tell you the light fastness of the paint. The one thing that you do want to remember is that the more plus signs that you have, the longer the paint will last on the canvas, and it will be archival. Getting back to the colors that I'm choosing, I'm also going to get sap green. I've been working with some projects and it feels like I need to have some more of the neutrals and earthy tones. So that's why I'm going with sap green, is I tend to go more towards, you know, pinks and vibrant yellows and blues and stuff. And then I'm also getting burnt sienna, which is a good paint if you're trying to do a lot of portraits, which I'm looking to do. I am debating on whether or not to get a canvas. They do have canvases for sale, 70% off. So I might just get a splurge and get a canvas, a bigger one, because I've always been wanting to go with a bigger painting, but the bigger canvases tend to be a little more pricey, so we'll see. So I've got my paints, and I decided against the canvas. I might get it tomorrow, but right now I'm just feeling the paints and the paintbrush, so I'm gonna head up to the checkout and then head on home. Let's try to self-checkout.
Time to stop playing the games and think that we're still being chose. We really ought to guard our hearts, make sure all in is. Keep tabs on our lives and stay ready, because his word is sure.
As I was checking out, something unexpected happened. I was about ready to walk out, and I looked at this paint, and I noticed that on the corner, the tube had busted, and it was all over my hands, all over my hands, all over my jacket, all over my hair. This is definitely an adventure to Michael's that I have never had before. Today, I'm gonna have a little bit of a pink color until I can really wash it off. The good news is that when I told them about it, they said I could just go back and get a replacement. So I was able to do that with no hassle, no issues. The one thing I will say about Michael's that I'm not too fond of, sometimes when you get up to the cash register, they'll tell you that the price was different, or it might be a little bit higher than you were expecting. And if you're not watching it, if you're not paying attention, you'll pay more money than what you really should. So just bear in mind when you go to Michael's, pay attention to the prices, pay attention to your coupons. What I do is I have a calculator on my phone, and I calculate what I'm expecting my total to be, so that when I get up to the cash register and they say something different, or if it's more than what I'm expecting, then I'll have a good idea of what I should have. I take a picture of the prices so that in case there's a dispute, I'll have something to show the cashier when I'm up there, rather than having to go back or having, you know, back and forth. All they have is mostly self-checkout. So they usually only have just one cashier, and you don't want to be sitting there trying to go back and forth with the cashier and then have them having to go back and check on the prices. Meanwhile, there's a line queuing up behind you. Now, I've been also to Michael's with a friend of mine, and he is usually not successful in the coupons and all that. Just make sure you pay attention to the disclaimers and all the fine print, because sometimes there's certain items that won't be able to be applied with their coupons. So just pay attention to that stuff. Let me know if your experience is the same, or if it's always a good thing when you go and you don't have any problems. Hopefully that's the case. But anyway, I just figured I would bring you along to show you some of the art supplies that I get. Thank you so much for joining me on this video and supporting my channel. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.